Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. My email is tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a model launched at Baselworld 2015. This is the Patek Philippe Mid-Size Nautilus. It is the 7118/1A-001 in the tradition of the 3800 and the 5800. This is a watch you can wear on a smaller wrist, and my wrist enjoys its 35.2 millimeter diameter. Now, that's a diagonal measurement. If you were to measure it winglet to winglet, it would be a little bit more than that, so the watch has the presence of a larger timepiece. It is 8.9 millimeters thick, and depending on how you want to measure it, if we're just lug to lug, then the measurement is 38.5 millimeters across the wrist, but the rigid-most outcropping, you can see the bracelet won't pull straight down, that gives it a dimension of 43.6 millimeters across the wrist. Now you can see it really does wear like a mid-size. It's not a huge watch, it's not a small watch, it's in between, and it's thin, so you can slide it underneath the cuff. It has good manners. You can see down the barrel, there's plenty of room to wear this on a smaller wrist. Over the top, you can see it's nicely sized for my wrist. It is in no way undersized for a man, and it will easily slide underneath a sleeve of any kind. I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference. As with all Nautilus models, it's beautifully made. The first Nautilus of 1976, the 3700, was conceived by its designer, Gerald Genta, to include full integration of bracelet, lugs, and case, and that's exactly what we have right here. So you can see that little bevel on the case band continues down the shoulders of the links. They have a pronounced taper down. Genta was a jewelry designer first and foremost, so he designed his Nautilus, like his prior Royal Oak, to read as an article of jewelry on the wrist. And jewelry often has contrast, so here we have intermediates in polish, primaries in satin. You can see the flanks are satinated. Removable links here are fixed by pins and sleeves, so you'll use a block and a punch to size this bracelet. And then we have a clasp that's actually better than what you get on the 5711. It's a double fold with twin trigger release, and as you can see, when it's fully collapsed, there's a Calatrava cross, which is the logo of Patek. You will also find it on the crown. Now, this is a push-down crown, so the watch is 60 meters water resistant rather than the 120 of a 5711, but you can see it has the exact same complexity of finish and assembly that you get on a 5711. One of the reasons why traditionally the 5711 has been more expensive than the 5167 Aquanaut is the complexity of the case design. Here it's three pieces: the case back, the mid case, and then the bezel with the winglets. And then the finishing on those three parts more complex than what you'll find on an Aquanaut. I've often said that the Nautilus is a more, I would say, fully realized design than the Royal Oak, because with the Royal Oak, Genta explored some of these themes, but he ended with a rounded octagonal bezel. Inside, the dial, the inner bezel, and the crystal were still round. Here, the shape of the outer bezel is the shape of the inner bezel, is the shape of the sapphire, is the shape of the dial. Now, we have the striations that Genta originally conceived for the original Nautilus, but these aren't like on the 5711 or the 3700. These are a wave-like motif, referencing, of course, the cephalopod, the sea creature, the namesake of the model, the Nautilus. You will find the Nautilus in the sea, and these undulating waves of irregular width and amplitude represent the nautical environment where you will find the Nautilus. We have different indices, different hands, and I actually find that the lume on this watch is better than what you'll find on a 5711. The plots are just bigger, and it's easier to read. Mechanically, it's identical, although you will note that aesthetically, it's a sort of lighter metallic blue than you'll find on a 5711. Pull the crown out, and now we can operate the quick set. Let me put it in the intermediate setting position. So the watch does have a quick set, so you can rapidly cycle the date, and as many longtime Patek fans will remember, a small amount of back pressure is all you need to stall the seconds hand, and you can actually hack it by, let's say I want to stop it on 40 right there. You apply just a little bit of back pressure, and you can stall the hand right where you want it, just like that. You can actually synchronize a 324 to a reference time without hacking. On the reverse side, it's mechanically identical to a 5711, or at least mechanically identical to the original 5711, in that it uses caliber 324, which is better sized to match this case than you'll find on the standard jumbo. So it's a unidirectional automatic winder with ceramic rotor bearings, a 45-hour power reserve, an anti-magnetic silicon hairspring, a free-sprung gyromax-style balance, and it's adjusted in 6 positions. Of course, all of this is abundantly hand-finished. It has the quick-set date, though not, strictly speaking, a hacking seconds function. It pivots on 29 jewels, and it's nicely decorated with circular and linear Côte de Genève, several different sizes of engine turning, black polished screw heads with chamfered slots in circumference, solarization on the barrel, satination on the train wheels, and then the anglage is brightly mirrored and quite attractive. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this mid-size Nautilus 7118.